Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sua Talks. Today we are very pleased to announce the launching of our permanent segment to the Sua Talks, and we're calling it the Real Deal series. In the Real Deal is where we will discuss transactions that we are directly involved with or from other people that have teamed up with us to invest in real estate. It is more than just theory, it is on how to invest. You will be able to relate to it based on my recent transaction and see how we do it, and perhaps see yourself doing it as well. I have asked Eddy, who is an expert in this type of transactions, to host this segment. Eddy, welcome.
Thank you, Astrith. It's nice to be back.
So I just wanted to begin and to show you that we lead by example. So the first Real Deal is going to be a transaction that I just completed. I will walk you through it and will explain step by step the transaction. Remember, we are here to assist you. So with that, I'm going to explain the transaction and switch hats with Eddy so that you can ask the questions that you've been asking. So Eddy?
Well, Astrith, thank you, and it's nice to be the host for a change. So let's begin. Can you give us an overview of what is this transaction and why you saw it as a great opportunity?
Sure, I can. I was first made aware of this condo development by you, since you were heavily involved and invested in it. And by doing that, you were able to stabilize the association. And then that project caught my eye, of course. And then I did my homework and I looked at the rent in the area, and then also at the prices of the 1 and the 2 bedrooms and the returns that I could get from that. And based on that, it became very clear that it fitted my plan and my budget.
Excellent, Astrith. Now, you do have a good point. Just because other investors are there, it doesn't mean that it's a good investment for you. You have to make sure that it fits your own plan and your own strategy, as well as the level of risk that you're willing to take. So what was the process like, Astrith?
Well, in my situation, and because I'm a realtor, I have access to privileged information, like what were the comps in the area and the surrounding community. I did the comps for the sales and the rentals, and then I looked at the market velocity, which is the volume of the sales and the activity, and realized that the prices were going up.
Oh, nice.
Then identified a unit that I could purchase with the budget, including the projected renovations that will go into it. And then I put the property on the contract and closed with the intention of keeping it and fixing it instead of flipping it.
Astrith, explain to our viewers the difference between the two.
Okay, so the fix and hold is when you buy and you renovate to the level that you have budgeted, and you rent it and keep it as part of your portfolio, and then you enjoy the cash flow from the rent.
Okay.
And the fix and flip is the you renovate it within your budget, and then you sell it to that end investor or end user that did not want to go to the trouble of having any risk renovating it.
So what kind of risk are you referring to?
Well, as with anything, when you renovate, the risks are high because you really need to know what you're doing, and you have to surround yourself with people that are familiar with the construction's ins and outs. You have to know what needs to be requested for permits and what does not.
Okay, that's a good point.
And remember that when you start demolition, all things could happen. So have you heard of Pandora's box?
Sure have.
You never know
I
what
sure
could
have.
come up. So I have a few people in my team that I can consult with to help mitigate these risks to make the transaction successful.
Excellent. And how long does the process take?
Well, it should take about 30 days, but in my case, it took 60 days between buying, fixing, and renting.
That's pretty fast, Astrith. That's really fast. Okay, so let's put the transaction on the screen and let's talk about it. And let's talk about the 4 main steps of the 16 that you have.
Okay, so on step 3, you'll see that the purchase price was $27,000. Step number 6 shows you the total cost of the purchase and the renovations. Step number 10 shows you the total income of $67,800. And step 11 shows you the net profit of $27,360 on this transaction.
Wow, that's really, really a great opportunity. Astrith, talk about number 16. It's catching my eye, the word commission.
Okay, of course.
I think that's a very good point for our fellow realtors.
Correct, and to explain that, a realtor doing this closing would have earned about $1,500. If you had done this, the commission is 17 times the amount of any regular transaction.
That's how much you made difference, 17
Correct.
times the
17
amount.
times the amount.
Wow. Well, this is really a great deal, but I remember you said at the beginning you were targeting fix and hold. I see that you sold it. What happened?
All right. When I got in there, I realized that I was competing with all these other investors, and I decided to look at another complex, and I have identified 10 to 30 other units that I have potential, and we have decided to team up to duplicate this effort
Sure.
and make another successful transactions.
Excellent. So I'm sure our viewers want to know how much does it take to get started, or if they need to leverage their money to have more buying power. What was your situation?
Well, in my case, and the purchase was, like I said, $27,000. And because of my track record and experience and the connections, I found an investor that was willing to finance 100% of the purchase. And then I had budgeted the $10,000 for the repair, so that's how I did it.
Wow, that's a great, very impressive, great opportunity. Do you think our viewers can duplicate this, Astrith?
Of course. But you have to be realistic. You need experience to pull this off, and it's better that you team up with us or somebody that has the knowledge and experience. I am very pleased with my investment performance and the outcome of this transaction.
Astrith, explain to our viewers what is better, fix and flip or fix and hold?
Well, Eddy, that depends on the strategy. If you fix and flip, you'll need to have identified another property, and then remember that you have to pay the capital gains on
True.
that sale.
Okay.
If you fix and hold, which I believe is better, is because you can get cash flow every month, and then you have the tax benefits. You don't have to pay your income tax immediately,
Okay,
and you
true.
build wealth in the huge advantage of doing by properties because they increase in value.
Okay.
And then if you have a loan on this property, eventually you will pay it off, increasing your cash flow.
That's very, very good, Astrith. So what is the roadmap that we follow and that our viewers should follow?
As with anything, you have to have a roadmap to get you there. So the first and foremost thing is to have a plan and stick to it with the variables and scenarios that address the various situations that may come up, of course.
Very important.
Don't be afraid to walk away from a deal. It may be the best deal you ever not do.
Very good advice.
No shortcuts and due diligence. Get a good knowledgeable team around you and get a good few lenders to support you, that know you and that believe in your efforts because you may need them. And also it's very important that you make sure that your agent is ethical and professional and puts you first.
And that is so important, very important. I see how simple but yet how complex this process is. I hope our viewers have found this very informative, Astrith.
Well, I hope so. And now I will continue with hosting this portion of the Sua Talks.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Eddy. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Now remember that if you are interested in investing or in being part of what we do, please contact us at 561-289-0323.
Or at 561-213-7653. You can always go to our website, www.teamsua.com, and fill the form that is going to let us know what time works for you, okay?
Looking to hear from you. So now for our next talk, we will discuss the financing for this transaction, as well as we have a great guest that will help us understand the commercial investment opportunities. Until next time, thank you.